Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the happiest hour on earth. We're really excited tonight because we haven't done a movie episode in quite a while. We've done a lot of parks-based stuff, which has been awesome.
Love it. Yeah.
But we decided that tonight we're gonna get back to the films. So we have a pretty fun episode planned for you guys tonight. We are gonna be comparing Disney and Pixar movies, basically from the start of Pixar, so 1995 to now. We're going to be putting movies head to head based on the respective years that they came out. And there are some tough matchups, so follow along. Let us know if your answers are similar to ours or whether you have other favorites. There's some great films in here. So we're really excited to jump in. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so before we get started, we made another mocktail tonight.
The last
still in
one.
January, yeah. I mean, we'll make some more mocktails.
I mean, I just
future,
mean the last
but
one of January because
Yeah.
it's pretty much the last January that we'll be filming.
I
So,
know, yeah. And next week we're going to attempt a 100 Years of Wonder cocktail that I
looks
don't
a
know
little
how they do it.
complicated. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're gonna figure it out. I think it should be good. But
Lot of
tonight
confidence.
we made the 2319 from Lamplight Lounge, and so we actually have never had this drink in the parks,
Yeah.
and there's no recipe online for it. So
We
just-
winged it a little bit.
We did. It looks like
Looks
the
funky.
pictures, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, there's Coke in it as like the topper.
Yeah.
So any like brown drink, I feel like
It's not as pretty.
looks a little funky in a drink, but the pink is
Yeah.
a nice offset, I
Yeah.
guess.
So Em made some strawberry puree. Then there's pineapple juice, cream of coconut, and then you blend that all together, and then you add some Coca-Cola on top.
yeah.
And so I'm really curious to try this. I've always
Yeah.
been interested in it because I love the 2319 kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
know.
and it's a fun little way to do a little mocktail at Lamplight Lounge. But
Yeah,
should we try
I'm
this thing?
interested in it. Let's go ahead and give it a
all
try.
right, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I like it.
Try it again.
Kind of tastes like a virgin daiquiri. And the
Mhm.
Coke actually has a little, I think one of ours might have a little bit more Coke than the other one. Are they pretty
I
similar?
topped both off.
About
I
the
think,
same.
Pretty
Oh, yeah.
equally. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
At first, it took me a minute. When I took a sip, it was like, I don't know. It took a second, but after the second sip, I think I like it more.
Yeah. And so we're going to have to try this the next time we're in the parks because
Yeah, we have no idea
we
if
have
this
no
is
idea how
right.
good this mocktail is in the park or if this even tastes like it. But it is the same ingredients, probably different ratios slightly. But I like that. That's really
good.
good. Especially for like someone who doesn't drink
refreshing.
and if you want like a strawberry daiquiri type
Yeah.
drink, this is really cool. Especially with that Coke, gives it a little something
It's a little
different.
bit
Yeah.
of fizz, although there's not too much fizz left because I think as it like seeped down to the bottom, I think it lost some of the like fizziness. But
Yeah.
it's good though. I like
still
it.
really good.
It's
yeah.
tasty.
I am a fan, and I'm also a fan of Disney movies and Pixar movies, and I am
too.
so excited to jump into this. But before we jump into it, this episode is coming out on Friday, January 27th, the start of the 100 Years of Wonder celebration at Disney, celebrating the
Very
100 years
exciting.
that Disney, Walt Disney Studios has been around. And we're really excited because over the weekend, we're going to be watching the two new shows, World of Color 1 and Wondrous Journeys, and then also a POV video of the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because I think the queue is going to be different, and I think there's maybe a show scene that's different than Hollywood Studios. So really excited to watch those. And
Yeah,
then next
can't
week, we're
wait.
going to break down our thoughts. We're really hoping for some good stuff from those nighttime spectaculars because I don't know. They've had some hits. They've had some, kind of just
Yeah. a few
subpar
flops.
shows. So really hope for the 100 Years of Wonder they're able to pull out something really great. So
I think
I
they
cannot
will.
wait. I cannot wait to
I'm
watch that.
confident.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah. So that will be exciting. But this is going to be so tough.
This is tough.
So
Some of my favorites are up against each other, and it's not easy.
it is not easy. So actually, the interesting thing here, so we are breaking it down by years. And so, those Disney and Pixar movies that came out within those years are going to be head to head because we want to see kind of who won. Did Disney win over the years? Did they dominate with the heartwarming movies that we all love, or did Pixar? And so we're starting in 1995 because that's when Toy Story came out. And then we were going to go by 5 years. So we were going to do 95 to 99, 2000 to 2004, 2005 to 2009, and so forth.
There was a
But
lot
there were some that, some of these years within that 5 years, so many amazing movies came out, and there's no way that we were going to be able to tackle that. So how we did it, and I don't think it's like,
on ourselves.
I think it's better because it gives, when we're breaking it down a little bit smaller, it gives more studios a chance to win because they might, I don't know, it's more granular. So I feel like, it's a little more even. So how we're doing it is we are still going to go 95 to 2000, and then we're going to take the 2000s. So 2001 to 2010, and then 2010 or 2011 to 2020, and then those last 2 years. But we're breaking it down by 2 years. So we got, 95, 96 up against each other, 97, 98 up against each other, 99 to 2000, and then so forth. So everything will be kind of within that respective
2 year gaps.
Yeah, within that respective like decade, but we're splitting it up by 2 years because it's impossible.
It's just too hard.
It's so impossible. So should we jump in
to 1995?
Yeah, this is 95 and 96 going together.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to list off these movies here?
How about you list them off, because I know one of these is a fave of yours.
Okay, yeah. So in 1995, we had a Goofy movie, Pocahontas, Toy Story, and then the other challenger here in 1996 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And so all these movies are great. I think some stand out among the others. I grew up watching a Goofy movie, and I love it so much. But obviously, when you look at these other movies, that's probably going to be the weakest movie out of the bunch. And
probably.
Then Hunchback, we didn't watch as much when we were younger because I think our parents didn't want us to get nightmares.
Yeah. It's true. It's very scary.
But love it now as an adult and love.
Even though it's very depressing. Still.
Yeah. Happier than the original, but still so sad.
Still sad.
But music, is so great, and the visuals are just so awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the two in the middle here really stand out: Pocahontas and Toy Story.
Yeah.
Toy Story being the first ever computer animated feature film that like has a lot going for it, and obviously it's just our childhood.
Yeah.
But Pocahontas, Alan Menken doing the music. Music really like reminds me of my childhood, and
me
too. The animation too, with Colors of the Wind, how beautiful that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder if we're gonna have different answers on some of these, personally, because I think I would probably say Pocahontas between these two.
No, I would say Pocahontas too.
I mean, the fact that Toy Story came out and was the first animated film like that for Pixar, first Pixar film, is amazing. But if I'm being honest, Toy Story 1 is kind of my least favorite
out of the four.
Of the four, yeah. And up against Pocahontas. Like if it was one of the other Toy Stories, hands down, any of them would probably be Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But I love Pocahontas, and up against Toy Story 1, I think it beats it out.
Yeah, I have to agree. Love Toy Story, but man, I think they got better.
And it's hard to compare some of these because they're such different styles of movies. Like Pocahontas and Toy Story are like polar opposite. There's like nothing similar about them. It's kind of hard to like compare. But if we're just going based off of overall better movie, I guess, then I would probably have to say Pocahontas.
Okay, so first round from 95 to 96, we got Disney winning.
Wins. Disney animation over Pixar this time around.
Yeah. All right, so 97 to 98. What do we have?
So in 97, we got Hercules, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
No Disney or Pixar aside from that.
And these are featured animated films. We were looking at all these films, and some of them were like Disney Toon Studio.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Kinda
the
random.
Tigger movie or something like that. Like those ones aren't going to be in it. It's just all the featured animation studios.
Yeah. So 97 was Hercules. 98, we got both Mulan and A Bug's Life. So Disney and Pixar. Hercules was another one that kind of just wasn't one that I grew up with a lot, even though I know it's a lot of people's favorite and is very special. I love it now. I've watched it as an adult and I do love it. And I love the music so much.
Yeah.
Go the Distance is one of the best songs of Disney music.
Oh yeah.
But
oh my gosh. We're getting Happily Ever After back, and that's that ending.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
With that song in it.
Pure magic.
Like makes me bawl my eyes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mulan and Bug's Life definitely both rank higher in my book in this list. So, it's so hard to say. Again, very different types of movies, different styles. And I love them both so much. Bug's Life, I feel like, is a very underrated movie.
Yeah.
I've loved it since I was a kid. Like, that was always one that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
Love it so much. But Mulan is something special.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think right there too, pretty even matchup, but I love the setting in Mulan. I love that, we do get some inclusion into Chinese culture that we don't, I think that was the real first movie that we got that. And then the music, oh my gosh, Reflection,
so many
Make
good
a Man
songs.
Out of You. And I love the artwork in that as well. And so I agree with you there. I think Disney takes this round as well.
I think Mulan.
Disney coming out strong.
Yeah. First two matchups go to Disney.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
and those things start getting really hard.
All right, to finish off the 90s and I guess go into the 2000s. This is a tough one, guys. This is so tough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Okay, so we have in 1999, we have both Tarzan and Toy Story 2. And then in 2000, we have Fantasia 2000, Dinosaur, and Emperor's New Groove. I think the weakest of the links here are Fantasia 2000 and Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Still cool to watch Fantasia 2000 and Dinosaur. I haven't seen in a long time, but I remember I used to love that movie as well. But compared to these other ones, oh man, Emperor's New Groove, so funny too.
We have been watching it so much lately because our son recently discovered it and he asks to watch it all the time. Such another very underrated movie. It is so good. The humor just never gets old for me. I love it.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
David Spade, like it Cusco is just David Spade.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's
oh
hysterical.
my gosh, David Spade is hilarious.
Yeah. But I think as entertaining as that movie is, and we love it so much, and I could watch it all the time, I don't think it's as strong of a movie as Tarzan and Toy Story 2.
Oh my
so both in 1999. And
what are we doing here?
I don't know if you agree with this, but in my mind, since I know another Toy Story movie is definitely going to win later, I think, especially because of the ties that we have with this movie and our son, I think Tarzan's going to have to get this. Also, Phil Collins. Come on, I'm bringing it back to the music.
Gosh, yeah.
Phil Collins, are you kidding me? And it's just such a good movie.
He went hard on that soundtrack.
He did. And it has so many good themes too about it's not what you look like, you could be you could have someone in your family and love them just as much as a child and your family too. And I don't know. I mean, everything in that movie,
Yeah.
dealing with loss, dealing with,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
accepting
yeah.
yourself. And it's so good.
It's so good. Yeah. I would agree with
Okay.
you. Tarzan. So Disney
Dang.
gets the first 3 this
Yeah.
matchup.
So
as
although
well.
I think as we're going into a new century here, things to think about. Even though Pixar started in the 90s and created an amazing feat with computer animation, I think in the 90s, at least in our era, Disney still had a little bit stronger, movies here. But I feel like that could change because soon Pixar just starts going crazy.
Yeah, they ramp it up.
So next we're getting into the 2000s. So 2001
Yeah.
to 2010, and we're starting with 2001 and 2002. Emily, can you let us know what's in this area?
Okay, so 2001 we got Atlantis: The Lost Empire and Monsters Inc. Those were in 2001. Then we got Lilo and Stitch and Treasure Planet in 2002. So, 2 of these movies were not particularly favorites of mine growing up. Both Atlantis and Treasure Planet were not really ones that I watched a lot. Atlantis more so. I think
I liked it. Yeah.
my brother used to watch it, and I think I watched it with him a couple of times, and I did like it, but it didn't feel very Disney. If I look back on it now, I feel like I wouldn't even like really associate it as a Disney movie if I rewatched it now.
I want to rewatch. We want to do a movie, or we want to do an episode as well. Rewatching movies we haven't seen in a very long time.
Both
Revisiting
of these will
them.
probably be on that list.
And then just kind of talking about them as adults.
Yeah.
Rewatching these movies we watched as a kid. But I think Atlantis definitely more than Treasure Planet. I grew up with more, and I know there's a lot of Treasure Planet fans out there. So forgive us. It wasn't one we watched often in my household. But the 2 middle ones, Monsters Inc. and Lilo and Stitch, definitely watched a lot.
Great ones. Great ones.
Yeah.
This is tough. I feel like they're kind of even in my book. I love them both so much. Lilo and Stitch is another favorite of our sons. You've probably heard us talk about that on the show a little bit. We've watched that countless times. But I think just personally, I think I would probably say Monsters Inc. over Lilo and Stitch, though.
Yeah, I think where I have this deciding factor is I feel like I could watch Lilo and Stitch more often just because I love the Hawaii setting. I love the music. It's very fun. It's a fun, entertaining watch. But I think Monsters Inc. is definitely the better movie here. Like, this is one though that I don't want to just have in the background. Like, I want to sit down and actually watch it.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch, I could catch some scenes here and there. But Monsters Inc. is like a movie. This was like the start of Pixar really, well, I guess Toy Story 2 with Jesse's thing, but this is when Pixar really started
honing in on emotions and stuff. Definitely. Yeah, Monsters Inc. was, I think, when that ramped up even more.
Yeah.
So
such a good movie. So
1 point to Pixar.
So
now.
3-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a few more matchups to go.
Yeah. So next up, we're taking 2003 and 2004 as the next years here. So in 2003, we got Finding Nemo. I mean, come on. Up against Brother Bear. Those both came out in 2003. And then in 2004, we have another Disney Pixar matchup. We had Home on the Range from Disney in 2004, and then Incredibles in 2004. So instantly, the 2 worst links here. And I was going to say, yeah, if you're a Brother Bear fan, don't take it personally. I don't know who's like a major Home on the Range fan. Like, I never hear people like, "Oh, we need those cows in the park." Like, I really need to see them and meet them. But
I don't think I've seen Brother Bear actually. I know like
I used
song
to own
or 2,
it, but I don't. Yeah,
and I know it's more Phil Collins, which music plays a big part in whether a movie is good or bad, I guess, to us.
Yeah.
And I know that there's some good songs in it, but I haven't seen it. Maybe that's another one that we should rewatch.
We should. Definitely.
But yes, obviously the Pixar films here both.
Yeah. And
went out.
Incredibles, so awesome, so great.
Yeah.
First action, like
Yeah.
computer animated movie.
Yeah.
Love that. But come on, guys, Finding Nemo is one of the best Pixar movies.
Hands down.
That's an easy one. Pixar, you are now 2-3. Disney winning.
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting one for the next.
Yeah. Well, interesting.
I mean,
but
interesting
also,
as
it's
only
very
two,
small. Yeah.
one movie each year.
Yeah.
That's it.
And one for each. One
Yeah.
Disney, one Pixar. So in 2005, we got Chicken Little. And then in 2006, we got Cars.
Easy. And
I'm not
I know
sure who would.
Rewatching things, I don't care to rewatch Chicken Little.
I've never seen Chicken Little.
Yeah.
I don't particularly care to.
Yeah.
Never really sparked my interest based on the trailer for it. So
yeah, no.
Easy win to Cars here.
Yeah, was that? Oh, that was the second computer animated film by Disney, I believe. Because first was Dinosaur. Remember Dinosaur was
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
So Chicken Little. So okay, Cars instantly. Now we have a tie, everybody.
Wow.
We got 3 in a row from Disney to start. Now we have 3 Pixar in a row. And now we're jumping into 2007 to 2008. So we have from Disney in 2007, we got Meet the Robinsons. And then from Pixar in 2007, we got Ratatouille. And then from Pixar again in 2008, we have WALL-E. And then from Disney in 2008, we have Bolt. So I think here again, and I know there's a lot of Meet the Robinsons fans, and it was a fun movie, but it's not on these other 2 Pixar tiers. So I think Pixar easily won this again. But now we get to Ratatouille and WALL-E.
Yeah.
I love what they were doing with WALL-E, and I love that, WALL-E's emotions come out. You don't even need dialogue in a lot of that movie, and it was really cool to see that. But I find Ratatouille more entertaining, and
Definitely.
I think in our minds, Ratatouille is
superior.
I
agree.
In our minds. And I know some people are like, WALL-E's like their favorite Pixar movie, but here I'm gonna have to give it to Ratatouille.
I agree. WALL-E, I guess, is another that I should probably try rewatching.
It's been a while for you.
I think I've only seen it once,
and
I
think you fell asleep.
I'm not gonna go too far into it. I don't want to make anyone too mad, but I do remember getting a little bored, so maybe I should try it again because I must have fallen asleep. I don't recall exactly what happens. I do love him as a character. I think he's very cute, and I think the music is really good in it. I know that every time
that scene,
yes, in World of Color, when that comes on, I get really excited because I love that little musical sequence. But
I think that's Thomas Newman as well.
I think it is.
And Finding Nemo. But Ratatouille, I love the music in that too.
Yes,
like the whole
Ratatouille.
French music, so good. So,
and that's what's interesting is Ratatouille is another one that I hadn't seen for a long time, and then saw it as an adult and then loved it. So
yeah. So
based off of that, definitely, it's the winner.
Sorry if you saw my face there, because while the beginning of the 2000s, Disney kind of had a little slump. Boy, did they come back in 2009 to 2010. Guys, these are all winners. Incredibly hard. Yeah, these are all winners. Can you list off what we had in 2009 and 10? And we also had 1 Pixar, 1 Disney in each year. And yeah, you have to do it.
Oh gosh,
this is incredibly hard.
When every single one is one that you love, and then you have to somehow narrow it down. So that's going to be interesting. So 2009, we got Up and Princess and the Frog. So Pixar versus Disney.
Already so tough.
Already hard. And then 2010, we got both Toy Story 3 and Tangled.
That's insane. That's
both Disney and Pixar were like at their height, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, I actually do.
I would say that those couple of years span were some of the best.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow,
and it's very hard to
tough.
narrow it down. I mean, I think I know what my answer is, and this is one that we might differ on. I mean, It's so hard.
Oh man.
This is really hard.
Okay.
What's your answer? I think you know what mine is, probably.
I think yours is Toy Story 3.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man. Okay, so there's two here, and I love Tangled so much too, but I think the two here that are really up against each other are Toy Story 3 and Princess and the Frog. Now,
Yeah.
seeing Disney go back to that, amazing hand-drawn animation was so great. Love Tiana as a character too. And so excited for her to have more representation in the park. Although RIP to Splash.
Yeah,
I know,
that
just happened
this week.
But wow, what an incredible film Princess and the Frog is. I love exploring that culture more. I love the villain, so scary. Yeah. Love New Orleans as a place. But Toy Story 3 came out at such a perfect time for us and has a very special place in our hearts because we were literally Andy's age through and through. And so I think Toy Story 3 will make me cry and make me more emotional than Princess and the Frog. So
that last scene is probably the scene that makes me the most emotional of any Disney or Pixar movie.
Yeah.
I would say, well, it's tied with Coco. Coco has another scene that does the same thing for me, but Toy Story 3, one of my probably neck and neck with one or so other, but probably like favorite Pixar movie ever. So
yeah, it's so good.
I think that one has to win.
I think we're deciding
that was hard though.
That was really tough. Tough. So, all right, congrats, Toy Story 3.
Right,
you
Pixar.
won the last in that 2000 era. So now we're getting into 2011 through 2020. We're gonna first start off with 2011 and 12, and so here it was almost like they hit a peak and then they're like, wait,
a little dip.
Yeah, they had all their best animators and story people on the other ones, so all the other ones were being made. And no shade to anyone who worked on these films, but so 2011 we had Cars 2, and then also in 2011 we had Winnie the Pooh. And then in 2012 we had Brave and Wreck-It Ralph. So Cars 2 is probably, I mean, our son loves it.
We've always been, we were always like haters of Cars 2, but having rewatched it, somehow it's like our son's favorite of the Cars movies, I think.
Like
he asks to watch it the most. And having rewatched it a few times, it's not as bad as I remember. Like, I hated on it for a lot of years because I think I only watched it once before. And it's not that bad. Like, I mean, it's not as good as the other ones, but it's not
watchable,
like,
but it's
not terrible.
It's probably
definitely not the winner of this, but
yeah, it's probably like the weakest, close to Good Dinosaur. Of Pixar movies. But
for sure.
Winnie the Pooh, we haven't seen in a very long time. Then we have Brave and Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph is fun and all that stuff, but it's not like it doesn't
much of a tie,
of a connection.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people like aren't the biggest Brave fans. Like some people really do love it, and other people are like, wait, what? Like Brave? I always get emotional during this movie, and like I love the whole Scottish scenery and just kind of storyline there. And oh man, I get the feels during this movie, and I don't know how you can't really. When she's like laying on her mom, and her mom is still her bear, and she sees the sun go up or whatever, and she thinks that her mom will never, turn into a human again, and just like that emotion there.
Yeah.
And then it also ends with, I think her name is Birdie. Birdie's cover of that Mumford song to end it.
Oh my gosh,
come on,
right?
That is really awesome. Good. And I love "Touch the Sky," that song from there. Anytime they put it in a show, I'm like, yes, come on.
Yeah. I don't really recall if I get super emotional watching Brave, which is weird.
You don't love your mom. No, just kidding. I'm just joking.
I don't know if I've watched it since becoming a mom.
Ooh,
that might make me get hit with the feels a little bit more. I
I
mean,
think
it's a very sweet moment. I just don't recall like ever really
I'm the
getting
more
emotional.
emotional one in the relationship when it comes to like movies and
I'm
stuff.
a lot more emotional than I
Yeah.
used to be though. After having a kid, oh my gosh, I cry a lot more. So I should probably rewatch Brave and see what
Yeah.
happens. But I do love it. I think it's a great movie. I love the music. I love the Scottish culture. It's just a great movie. I think it definitely wins this round.
Yep. Okay, so we got Pixar. Wow, Pixar's
All
really
right.
kind of taking it here.
They came
even
back.
in the like the weaker
Mhm.
movies, they're still kind of excelling there. So yeah, next up.
All right. Next, we have the years 2013 and 2014. So in 2013, we got Monsters U, Monsters University, and Frozen. And then in 2014, we got Big Hero 6. So I have not seen Big Hero 6.
I know everyone.
I'm sorry.
get
That's
angry at
going to be
Emily here.
one on the list to watch and talk about. So it will happen soon. I apologize, everyone.
Which is
that's
weird because we were
disappointed
like
in me.
dating at the time, but I think you
I
were
don't
still
know.
living further
Far.
away from me. So
Yeah.
like I went to see it.
Oh, like when it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when it
that's
came
true.
out,
We were
yeah,
already dating when this came out. Yep.
13.
We had been
Yeah,
for a
but
few
you
years.
weren't. I don't think you were down in the area yet. So
I can't believe we never
I don't
went
know.
to see it together.
I
I
know.
just, I don't know why I haven't seen it. And
wait, you were totally down in the area. 'Cause we got married in 2016.
oh yeah, I definitely was.
And it
That's
came out in
weird.
2014. Why did I see it and you didn't? I don't know.
You saw it in theaters?
Yeah,
Are
with
you
like
sure?
with like Will or Phil or something.
Okay,
yeah, I
well,
saw it.
I don't know.
Maybe you're busy.
I
I don't
never
know.
saw it. I know I need to because now San Francisco is
Fransokyo,
coming
yeah.
to
It's a really good
Pacific
movie.
Wharf. Yeah, I do want to see it. But
Yeah,
up against the other two, even though I haven't seen it, I would have to say it probably ranks under the other two because they're both
yeah.
so good.
Love Monsters University. We were also in college at the time that this movie came out.
Another
so
one
was
that
really
we
fun.
grew up with.
Yeah,
Grew
yeah.
up with because
Yeah.
yes, it was at our time frame of being in college. So love that movie. Love Monsters U. It's kind of hard for me to pick between Monsters 1 and 2, which one is my favorite, to be honest. Like they're both so
really
good for their own reasons. And Frozen, obviously a classic already. I was kind of like, I was just over Frozen for a really long time because of how much hype it had, like in the first couple years after it came out. So I was like, oh, I was just so over Frozen. But after, some of the hype kind of died down and stuff, I realized what a great movie it is. And of course, I love the music and it is great. So
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I'm going Frozen here because although I love Monsters University and it's entertaining and so fun, I think Frozen is an original story.
Yeah.
And it is going to have more of a mainstay.
Yeah, I guess
it's
so.
kids are going to grow up.
Those
you know,
princesses are
with
like
those,
here forever for
Yeah.
sure.
rather than like the kids growing up with Monsters U. So
Yeah.
I definitely think Frozen's the better
Yeah,
movie here. But
okay.
Monsters U is so fun.
Tough one, but
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. I think this one goes to Frozen. So one more point for Disney
Yeah.
now. What are we at now?
Um
I think we'll just have to
Okay,
go
yeah,
back
we'll
and
do it
see at
after,
the end,
'cause-
but it's
but yeah, it's
I think Pixar's just barely leading.
Pixar
now.
might be leading by like 2.
So we'll see. We
Yeah.
have
1, 2,
4 more
3.
matchups.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so now we get another
This is a
hard one
lot.
here. So we have in
movies.
2015, we had Inside Out, and The Good Dinosaur. So we had 2 Pixar movies that year. One amazing and one not the best. So
Not as much.
and then in 2016, we got a triple movie release here. So we got
Crazy.
Zootopia from Disney, Finding Dory from Pixar, and then Moana from Disney. So
Crazy.
I think obviously
of
let's
movies.
kick out Good Dinosaur here.
Mhm.
Also, I think we love this movie as well, but I think compared to the other ones, we could also kind of nudge it out. Zootopia.
Yeah.
So now we're left with 2 Pixar, 1 Disney. We have Inside Out, Finding Dory, and Moana. And
Oof.
I think I love Finding Dory too, but I think originals will always beat sequels. I
Yeah.
mean, not Toy Story 3, I guess. But
Yeah, that's true.
so Finding Dory, although you're amazing, let's kind of nudge you out. So we have Inside Out and Moana.
Pixar versus Disney.
Yeah, Pixar versus Disney. This is a really tough
Oh my
one.
gosh, yeah.
I love Inside Out. Has some of my favorite casts in there. Get a little Office and a little Parks and Rec, which is so great.
Yeah.
And I think
The
it was such a
story.
cool idea.
Yeah, very unique.
And also a great way to teach kids about their emotions. Wow. This is a hard one, guys, because I also love Moana so much.
Overall, movie-wise, I think I would pick Moana personally.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
hard because I agree. Inside Out has so many good things about it and does tap into our emotions like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely get choked up on a lot of those scenes. And I want to rewatch it again as well.
No, yeah,
that one I've seen many times, but it's been a while. Yeah. And it's so great. And now we know that we're getting a sequel to it, which is exciting.
Wow.
I love Inside Out, but Moana is so good. I love that culture so much too. And it was the first one I feel like that really dove deep into like Polynesian culture, and I just love anything islandy. Love Moana, Maui, all the characters are so good. The music.
Yeah, the music. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I love Moana too. Love Moana. I'm going. No. Okay. They're pretty. No. Okay, listen to this.
Is this gonna
They're
be
very
our tiebreaker?
They are very even. They're like pretty much even. I think Inside Out was a little more groundbreaking in story development, but I can concede to Moana here because Moana has a more accessible age range, where I think kids won't really totally understand Inside Out until they're a little bit older.
Yeah,
so I could give Moana, even though I do think after looking at this, I think Inside Out slightly was a little more like, whoa, wait, what? Emotions having, personalities and all that stuff. So I'm gonna say that, but I could concede to Moana also because Pixar's been they've been taken over.
Yeah.
So I'll because I love Moana as well, and the music and the characters and everything.
Yeah.
I'll give this one
that
to
one's a tough
Disney.
matchup. That could have kind of gone either way, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
That was really, really tough.
Okay.
So now we have three more guys.
All right. So this is 2017 and 2018. And we got some great ones here too. We got Cars 3 and Coco in 2017. Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet in 2018. Yeah. So Ralph has never been, like we were saying before, it's never been like hugely a favorite of ours. They're good, like they're good movies. I like both of them, but I've never really felt the need to like watch them again. You know how like sometimes you just get like the hankering to like watch a favorite movie.
Yeah.
That's never really like come back for me after seeing them. When we saw both of them in theaters. Yeah. And I don't know if I've watched either one ever again. Maybe once or so.
Yeah, once or twice.
But
just it didn't have as much of a
didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be between Cars 3, Coco, and Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 was
awesome
amazing.
Sequel. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sequel.
I did love it.
Yeah.
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Also, I think recently I was just saying that I wanted to watch it, but
yeah,
up against Cars 3 and Coco, probably less so for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel it.
I think we know what the obvious answer is
it
here.
is very obvious, guys. Yeah, Cars 3 can't beat.
Yeah, Coco definitely wins this one. I do love Cars 3, but the heart and emotion and storytelling and every single aspect of Coco is perfect.
It really is.
I love
mean,
it
That's
so much.
Pixar at its best. Just like
Yeah.
Inside Out and
Oh my gosh.
Toy Story 3 Up.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, going in to see Coco for the first time in theaters, I was kind of like, I didn't totally know what it was about. I was kind of just like, oh yeah, a new Pixar movie. Like, yeah, I'll see it. And I had no idea how much I was going to fall in love with it and that it would become like one of my ultimate favorite
Yeah.
Pixar movies.
It's amazing.
There's so much about why it's a favorite of mine. The last scene is definitely the main reason. I think we've talked about it before, but like Coco, the grandmother, there were aspects of her that both of us can relate to with our own grandmothers, in terms of dementia and just music and things like that. So it's just such a special scene, and that will always be one of my ultimate favorite movies.
They just knocked it out of the park. Coco's an incredible film.
Yeah, and we
It's
just
so
came
good.
back from Mexico a few weeks ago, and I was just getting so many Coco vibes.
I know, yeah, it was so great.
It was so great.
I love it.
So
Yeah,
fun.
Coco, you win this one. All right, so next up we have 2019 and 2020. We got Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2, both in 2019. Then we had Onward and Soul in 2020. And so, yeah, good movie. So Onward was the last movie we saw in theaters before the pandemic happened. And I thought it was really, really entertaining, really emotional at the end. I really, really loved it. Soul, I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be Inside Out quality good. And I think I had my expectations a little too high. I do want to rewatch it again. And I was really, really excited for it. But and it started off so strong. But I feel like when they did the cat switching and that was a part of the movie I had no idea was gonna be there.
Yeah.
And it almost seemed
Felt
less emotional than
yeah.
like a little more goofy, where like Inside Out I think hit the emotional notes a little bit more. So I do want to rewatch Soul again, because I think I was just like going in with like the highest expectations,
yeah,
which it looked like from the trailers and everything. And I guess it was just kind of, and okay, another thing too. Onward we saw in theaters. Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2 we saw in theaters. Soul was straight to video, or sorry, straight to Disney Plus. And so that kind of already takes something out of you, because you're not like in a theater setting where you're fully, I mean, we were trying to be as focused as we could be on it, but there's just something about seeing it for the first time and having that experience and that first impression with a movie. So watching it at home, I think it would have been so much better in theaters. But that being said, love all these movies, but I think Toy Story 4 definitely has to take it.
I agree.
The ending, like there's so many beautiful scenes there with Gabby getting her kid. Yeah. And then Bo and Woody, and then Woody and Buzz and all the rest of the characters. I mean, amazing. So Toy Story has got 2.
Yeah.
In this.
We just watched that one the other night, like a week or so ago, with our son, and yeah, it tears me up every single time at the end. Again, that both Toy Story 3 and 4, the last scenes just kill my emotions.
I know.
It's so
it was so good.
So well done. Even though it's like so bittersweet. Like,
I know, yeah.
Like I didn't know whether to be happy or sad about like Woody's choice at the end for so long. Yeah. But now I'm like kind of reconciled to it, and it's like it is.
I remember the first time we watched it, I was like, no, they can't do that. They can't do that.
You can't take Woody away from the crew.
But then it was also, like you said, bittersweet, because I was like, oh man, watching him and Bo run around the carnival together, I was like,
and just watch him kind of like let go of what his what he felt like his purpose was for so long, to like make sure that whatever kid he was with like had their toy that was their favorite at that time. Like that was always his purpose, and he just kind of finally was like, okay, I did my part. Yeah. And he moved along.
It was beautiful. So good.
So good. All right.
So yeah, now we're
the last one, which is the final 2 years, which is 2021 and 2022.
Yep.
So a lot of movies came out in that time.
Yeah.
2021 we got Raya and the Last Dragon, Luca, and Encanto. And then in 2022 we got Turning Red, Lightyear, and Strange World.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few movies in a 2-year span.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of crazy.
I think here's some of the movies. There's 2 that stand out here.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this could be because some of these were, at home watches. Like Luca, I feel like I could have liked it a little bit more if I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
But it was
really cute.
It was cute, but
another one that I haven't really felt the need to watch again necessarily.
Yeah.
Like it was a fun watch. Like afterwards, I felt good. I was like, I liked it and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, okay, yeah.
It wasn't
a movie.
yeah. Yeah. So I think the 2 that I remember watching at home and it did hit me, good, was Raya and the Last Dragon and Encanto.
Mm-hmm.
And these are both from Disney. So
yeah,
Disney's winning this
Either
round
way.
no matter what. Raya is super cool. And like, I love the adventure side of it. It's actually really, really cool because you don't really get that too much in a Disney movie where it's like a straight up adventure. But then I love the heart with her and her dad. And just the whole idea of coming together and uniting. I feel like we need that so much in the world today.
Yeah.
We're so divided and it is terrible.
Yeah. What's the last thing that he says to her before he like turns to stone?
Yeah, there's something that, her dad just holds on to and says like, don't give up on them. Like keep striving to make peace with everyone. And then at the end of that movie, when she's bringing him over that kind of like hill, and then he sees the whole Kumandra together again. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
But then also Encanto, so great as well. Also about family. Shoot, I don't really know.
That's kind of almost an even matchup.
Yeah.
But
I do love the whole thing of Encanto too, of like feeling kind of ostracized and like you don't have kind of a purpose, and she felt that way in her family. But then it was because of her that everyone, got their powers again and that they were able to rebuild and everything. So I like the whole idea of you're special no matter, what you think of yourself. And so that ending is so beautiful too. And then the music in that also kind of puts it, I think a little, Raya doesn't really have the music, and you got Lin-Manuel Miranda doing Encanto.
Yeah, I think Encanto is maybe just slightly better overall.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we got our last winner.
Tough matchup.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think Encanto.
Yeah.
Wins that one.
Okay. That's so good. And I want to meet Mirabelle in the parks, and I want to see the Casita. I'm so glad that they're doing a Coco, or talked about doing a Coco in an Encanto area.
Yeah.
In Magic Kingdom.
So
that's going to be great. I cannot wait for that. But
yeah,
I think, between those 2, that's a really tough matchup. But I think we're going to put Encanto here. Regardless, I think Disney owned these last 2 years. So now it's a little drum roll. So we got, Disney winning the last, and they also won a lot in the front, the 90s.
Yeah.
So let's count it up. So we have for Disney, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Disney has won 6. Now
And
Pixar. We got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh,
so 8 to 6. Oh,
8
man.
to 6. All right. Pixar wins out in our book.
Starting from the 90s on.
Yes.
So that's the interesting thing here, is that obviously, going from the 90s, these aren't even the Renaissance.
Yeah, there's a
eras.
lot.
I guess some of them are, right? Pocahontas was in the Renaissance. I have to look at it again, but we are not including in this list anything before 95. So obviously Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin,
Yeah.
Lion King,
There's
all those ones.
a lot missing.
Yeah.
That would probably give Disney the edge over Pixar for sure.
Oh yeah, because Disney had so many amazing eras, and right when 95 hit, right when Pixar was coming out with their movies, they were like kind of tapering off, I think. That's why there was a lot of Disney movies winning at the beginning. And then we enter that post-Renaissance era where there weren't as, you get the Chicken Littles and stuff like that. And at that time, Pixar was really getting their footing together and really making emotional movies. And then there was like another peak where both were really good. And then there's like a little bit
they've each kind of gone like
in between
this at different times.
And now I've almost feel like
they've both kind of plateaued a little bit, in my opinion. To be very honest, I think I just haven't seen the quality that I feel like I had seen in, say, Toy Story 4 or Coco, which was 2017 and 2019. So since then, I feel like I just haven't been like hit really hard with a Disney or a Pixar movie. Yeah. Necessarily. Not as much
as earlier on. Yeah. And so that's the interesting thing. I'm so curious, as we get some more movies this year, how that'll be. I mean, it's so hard to be like a studio where Pixar, every single movie was just like an amazing movie. So when you think about other movie studios, they put out flops all the time. So we've come to just expect perfection every single movie. And that's not going to be the case always.
So much more when they're not necessarily up to that
so
par.
High. Yeah. So I think giving these studios a little bit of grace that some movies may not be our favorite, but maybe a kid would really love them. But then there's going to be another year where a movie comes out where you're just sitting in the fields and you fall in love with it again. And so, it's, I know there's going to be some more movies that are going to just really make, like Coco. I feel like for a while, no, actually, never mind. Not for a while. No, all the movies before that, Finding Dory, Inside Out. I guess Good Dinosaur was like, wait, what are they doing? And then they came out with Finding Dory and Coco. So
I mean, they've like we said, they've both had their highs and lows. Maybe right now is just kind of sort of one of those semi-lows, and they'll probably ramp back up again at some point. And
Iger's back. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's putting a little more inspiration in the story writers or in the animators. I mean,
if you think about it seriously, with Bob Chapek running things for the last couple of years and knowing now kind of like what his perspective on like animated films was. I mean, not that necessarily had an impact on the people who made the movies, but it could have. If they didn't feel the same like passion that the CEO of the company was feeling, maybe they just weren't coming out with the quality that used to be there.
And I remember Chapek put like, I guess I don't know if it was the finance department, but he put like another business department above
it was
creative,
finance, I think,
where Iger put creative as like the last say in things and what they wanted to do above them. So during that time, the creative team didn't have as much say in Chapek, and I think Iger already switched that back, giving creative more control. So I think it did definitely show, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll see what happens next, guys.
A little longer episode tonight because it's been a while since we've talked about these amazing Disney and Pixar movies. Yeah,
movies are something that we could just talk about forever, and I do want to do some more movie episodes.
Yeah, if you guys have any weeks. If you guys have any ideas of like something you'd love to hear us talk about, definitely let us know on Instagram, and we would love to do an episode on them. With this episode, we want to hear your thoughts. Did you agree with us? Did you not agree with us?
There's so many disagreeers.
We might. And the interesting thing is movies can be so subjective. Obviously, for the most part, you could be like, this is a good movie, this is a bad movie. But when it really comes subjective is, did that one single person connect emotionally or like have a memory tied to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Disney and Pixar movies do. And a lot of ones that we didn't connect with, other people have connected with. So
Yeah, it's true.
we are all entitled to the love that we have for all these movies. And talking about all of these like happy emotional movies is just so
Gives the
great.
feels.
And I just want to like talk, have a conversation with these
Yeah,
people about
message
movies and break
us.
things down. Yeah. So
If you guys watch this or listen to this episode, message us. Give us your thoughts because we would love to know what movies are special to you
yeah.
and whether you think Pixar or Disney has done it better over the years.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun to match them up together. That's something we hadn't done before.
Yeah. And regardless, all fun and games with the competition.
Yeah.
Both of these movie studios have meant so much to so many people, including our lives. So we can't thank them enough.
Yeah.
It means so much. But anyways, with that, thank you all so much for listening to our show. If you're listening on YouTube, if you go ahead and hit subscribe, that would mean so much to us. If you're listening on a podcasting platform, if you want to hit that follow button on there, that'd be so great. And with that, we will see you guys next week. We'll be talking about 100 Years of Wonder. Cannot wait.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. See
Bye.
ya.